I'm late. Fire me. Okay, this video is going to be about some Earth intelligent news, what I myself have personally been remote viewing, and the male-female component of how the energy is affecting our human body. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to pop on here. If you guys would like to share out into your feed, that would be really awesome. Again, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous about this one. This video is going to be about some Earth intelligent news from Dr. Michael Salla. It's going to be about what's currently going on with our sun, what I am currently remote viewing, and also how this is going to affect our human body auric field. So please share out if you guys would not mind. I see a couple of you guys are here. Yeah, sorry I'm late, guys. So let's just jump on into it. I feel like I should sing you a song or something. I'm going to tell you right now that this information is going to seem really, really heavy. So I'm going to ask you to just do it with me and just go, and take a deep breath. It's really important. It's initially going to seem really heavy, but it is super, super good news. So do not despair. So as you guys, most of you know, and most of you don't send me things anymore because of this, when I'm in the mode of receiving anything. I don't look at other people's writing or videos, and that includes anything. I don't track space weather unless you guys send me something and say, hey, you said this, and here now this is going on. So Alexandria, I very much appreciate that. Mrs. Javana Shields sent me some information from Dr. Michael Salla. That's the first thing I want to share. I did ask Colette to post a link to Dr. Michael Salla's latest video here with Elena Dinan, because I feel like it's good information, and I will share something if I feel that it is the truth. Now, I will say we have a lot of people in the disclosure community, and whether we agree with them or not, here's where I base my decision on whether I listen to it or not. The first thing is I will start reading, and if it resonates to my field of vibration, that's the first thing. Again, you guys know that I'm not reading or really watching anything. However, every once in a while you guys send me stuff and I will give it a couple seconds. So the latest from Elena Dinan and Dr. Michael Salla as of the end of June, sometime around the end of June, was that there was an off-planetary meeting of Alliance and a certain federation, and it was decided that, I'll call them the powers that were, so I don't have to worry about anything happening to this video, but they were given 5 months to get things cleared out and accomplished. Okay, so 5 months is the middle of December, and that's where we are. So what came through from Dr. Michael Salla and Elena Dinan, and again, Colette can get this. Okay, she's already got it up there. Awesome. Thank you so much, Colette. The information from Dr. Michael Salla, I'm going to skim over it for you. Basically, it said this. There was a meeting in Antarctica on December 14th. And in that meeting, the powers that were given a choice. And the choice was that if they wanted to be securely removed and taken somewhere else remotely where they could not cause any more harm, then that's what they were going to do. Now, I know there's a lot of us, me included, that would have really liked to see a large group of these people be held accountable. But at this point, I think we're all getting a little bit tired. We're getting a little bit tired of how this is dragging out and some of the things that are going on with here, and a lot of the things that they've gotten away with. And because of that, the choice for them 5 months ago was that they could be escorted somewhere else where they could no longer cause harm or concern on this planet any longer. And according to Dr. Michael Salla and Elena Danaan, that is a choice that was reached on December 14th, so just about 3 days ago, I think. Go ahead and check that video out. Colette has listed that in the comment section, but I'll break you down and give you the important parts of that. And that was this. They were offered refuge somewhere outside of this immediate solar system if they were compliant with a couple of things. What they had to be compliant with, first of all, was they had to stay here. They could not leave until they transitioned us from our current financial system to the new quantum financial system. We've been waiting for this for a really long time. We've known it's up and running for a really long time. So first contingency for them was that they had to stay here long enough to transition from the old financial power structure to the new quantum financial system. So that's the first thing. The second thing, and this is so appropriate for what this entire video is about, because really this video is about reversals. So the second thing that they had to do was reverse or undo the black magic that they've used on this planet and on these people, because we don't need any remnants of that hanging around when they're gone. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, it's only about 20 minutes long, extremely good and very powerful information. These are things we've waited for a really, really long time. Looks like it's going to happen now. Now, the second thing about videos or other people's writing that I will share with you is, even if someone doesn't know the entire truth, even if they might be fed a little bit of disinformation, if that person or group of people or subsidiary of information is coming from a place that I know is working for freedom, sovereignty, and New Earth, I will still go along with it. We got to remember it's a really hard time as far as receiving intel, both personal and as far as through technology. But I'm giving a lot of credit to what he says. I feel it, and I've felt in resonance with Dr. Michael Salla for a really long time. So definitely check that out if you're called to. Yes. So, and this is going to be a little bit difficult for me to talk about. The last article that I wrote when I had the solar remote view on 12/12, and then Alexandria had sent me the information about space weather and some other things, and everything that I saw happened within 48 hours. So I'm going to stop worrying about sharing things with you. You guys know that typically I don't talk about or discuss dates at all. But right now this feels very relative and very imperative. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what I saw in regards to the human body's field. Thousands of years of giving our power away, specifically women giving their power away to the institution, to man, to anything out of alignment with loving honor for all sentient life, has happened for so many thousands of years that we've lost a lot of our magnetic charge within our body. So I knew that it was really important for us to get our magnetic charge back. How we get our magnetic charge back as the divine feminine is we do things that are in alignment with our calling and our mission. And the more we do things that are magnetically aligned to love and to mission and to freedom and sovereignty for this planet and for this universe, the stronger that magnet becomes. Now, that magnet is what pulls everything from the external world that you've ever hoped for into your internal heart space and into your reality. So again, working on our magnetics, are working on our magnetic field, which is not giving our power away and simply being creative and being in alignment with love and nurturing and everything that the divine feminine is, will make that magnet stronger. And that's what I heard yesterday morning. And then yesterday when I went out for a walk, this is what I saw. And you may want to or need to watch the video twice, because this took me quite a while to sit with it, and I actually would have preferred to sit with it probably for a couple more days, but honestly I don't feel like we have that time. So here goes. The first thing that I saw was that our bodies has this auric field, okay, or a toroidal field. And it's an energetic field of everything that's around us. It's everything that we accept into our reality. It's how we treat ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, how we love ourselves. That creates this bubble. Okay. There is a really strong electromagnetic energy building at the top of our toroidal field right now. And that's going to keep amping up. And we're going to get to a certain point, and that auric or toroidal field around our body is going to turn inside out, and it's going to flip. On top of that, it's also going to go back to true north. Okay, so right now we're a little bit out of alignment. It's partially because of things that have historically happened to us on this planet, and it's partially because our planet is also currently at a tilt as well. That has to do with the moon and other factors that probably aren't super relevant at the moment. So the body's auric human toroidal field is going to literally flip inside out and connect back up with true north. So this is going to affect us in several different ways. The first thing that's going to happen is that male and female polarities are going to be completely switched. When I say female and male polarity, what I mean is this. The divine feminine is the receptacle for everything. Okay, she is the receiver, she is the magnet. The divine masculine is currently the action, the projection, the electric component to that, okay? So what's going to happen when this auric field flips and our body's auric field aligns with true north is that anybody that is sitting mostly in the divine feminine right now is going to switch to divine masculine. And anybody that is sitting mostly, when I say mostly 70% or more, in the male energy and the male polarity of action and projection is going to flip to reception. So if you want to talk about some very interesting times, and I've kind of started picking it up on people that I've talked to, that I've talked with already that are really feminine, are really starting to walk in or be magnetized to that divine feminine. And I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to ask me questions. But again, the divine masculine is going to be the receiver. Okay, this is going to start, from what I'm seeing, this is going to start sometime between December 22nd and January 1st of 2022. Divine masculine is going to start being the receiver. Divine feminine is going to start being the projector. Why is this happening to us? Okay, it's happening for a couple reasons. One, we have divine feminine that's been kind of sitting in this power or this energy of receiving all these gifts and different things and not using them. We need to get out of that and come forward with our gifts. The divine masculine has been sitting in a place of action or projection and needs to learn how to sit in the space of reception and intuition and all of that. Now, I asked about 5 times how long this was going to last before I got somewhat of what I would call a gray answer. Now, the divine feminine, divine masculine switch is going to last approximately 7 days. Now, it depends how balanced you are internally with those two energies, how long you're going to flip to the polar opposite. I'm not completely balanced in my male and female energy, but I'm really, really close. So for me, I saw that it was going to take about 48 hours to acclimate to that. Essentially, I'm talking about a pole shift within our auric field. Some people are going to be in the 48-hour range. You'll know when you hear this come out of my mouth where you're going to be. So you're going to experience a polarity flip anywhere between 48 hours and 7 days. At the end of however long that takes you to acclimate to the divine feminine and masculine energy and coexist within that powerful space of creation, because this is all about sitting in that powerful place of creation. We very much need this pole flip to happen to create new earth. So again, you'll know by listening to the sound of my voice when I say it, you're going to be somewhere sitting between 48 hours and 7 days on this. Now, the other news may seem a little bit frightening, but please don't be scared by this. I'm not seeing anything hugely negative. Now, what I saw in regards to the sun and the earth was a lot more information than I saw about the human body. And I think that's because we're actually able to gauge solar storms and things like that. Like I talked about, I think in the last video or the video before, our body is a better judge of the energy that's now coming in than any scientific instrument we have on this planet. Okay, so you're going to feel it. You're going to know what's going on. Because our pole is flipping, okay, it's going to kind of the energy will feel a little bit like a full moon as far as emotions may be up and down. You know, picture yourself kind of on a ride, like my hands and my feet are not in the ride. That's how it's going to kind of feel, like your hands and feet are not in the ride. So make sure that you're drinking water and you're resting. It's going to bring with it some dizziness, a little bit of blurry vision, tingling in extremities, things that we've already been feeling, but probably it's going to be a little bit of an amped up delivery on those things. Now, when it comes to what I'm seeing about the sun, that was pretty intense for me, but here goes. Okay. I saw that the sun was going back to where I saw it on 12/12, and why I'm sharing this now is, again, what I saw on 12/12 happened on 12/14, so I don't think there's a whole lot of span in my remote viewing right now as far as seeing things in a cosmic way. So what I saw was the sun and the earth side by side. Picture a figure 8 going between the sun and the earth around and around. Okay, so the sun's over here with its positive male charge. The earth's over here with the female magnetic charge. And this energy goes in a figure 8 around them a couple times. And then the sun's going to let off a solar flare. It's going to go directly to the core. The sun's going to let off a solar flare. It's going to go to the core. I saw this repeated. I'm pretty sure it was 4 times, but it could have been 5. I was kind of, it's kind of a lot to take in. So 4 or 5 times, we're going to have this energy of the sun throwing off into the core of the planet of Earth. And after those 4 or 5 solar flares are done, the Earth, just like us, is going to flip to a positive charge, and the sun is going to flip to a negative charge. Now, I could not see, hear, or feel how long that was going to take place But what I'm essentially telling you is just like the powers that were have to reverse their dark spells on this planet, and we have to reverse our own personal magnetic field to get that positive, negative, male-female charge imbalance. The Earth is about to go back to true north. We're about to have a magnetic pole reversal. Again, I did not see anything catastrophic happening. However, it goes back to what I made the video about on December 8th. I do see massive power outages and communication systems down and all of that stuff. So, magnetic pole reversal is essentially what I'm talking about. So, I feel like I need props or something. I'll say this. Okay, here we have the Earth. Our Earth's toroidal field is not just above and around Earth, you guys. It starts at the core of Earth. Our toroidal field, the Earth's auric field, starts in the exact center of Earth. This is very important. And it goes up and around the planet. So when we get slammed with these 4 or 5 solar things in a row, what's going to happen is the core of Earth, which is really like a quartz or Herkimer diamond, is kind of how I'm seeing it. It's not what they're telling you it is. That's going to light up. And I mean really light up. And when that lights up, that is going to take that auric field that starts in the core and it's going to blow it out. We're going to lose our magnetosphere. Only temporarily, okay? Again, same thing happens. It's going to flip inside out, and then it's going to come back, and we're going to be back at true north again. Now, I can't give you degrees, angles, whatever. You guys know I'm not going to explain anymore that I have no science to back up anything that I'm really saying, okay? So, the thing about what is happening in the core, okay, is this. Deep earthquakes come when the core is disturbed. The sun sends something, again, it goes directly to the core, and before it can affect the planet, the atmosphere, the biosphere, the magnetosphere, it affects the core first. So when this core lines up, changes us back to true north, and we have this pole reversal here, there will be some rising of water. There will be some earth change things coming from this. Again, it's mostly what is catastrophic here is just some things that man-made things that won't be a super big deal if it's a short-term power outage. Now, the reason that I started off with Dr. Michael Salas and Elena Danon's information about them having to stay here and put things in reverse before they're giving that off-planet clemency is this. Even if our power grid goes down, and even if we have no cell phone or no landline connections or no TV or no connection to the outside world, we have the technology to fix that in less than 48 hours would be my guess. Again, it's just how I'm seeing it. I don't have anything to back that up. However, know that in the United States alone, there are 5,842 energy patents that are basically on lockdown because they're what they call like a security issue or a security threat. But it's not really, they're not, as you know, free energy, free technology, healing medical beds. Those are not a threat to anything but the establishment and the money that the establishment is raking in by charging us for things that we have the technology to do for free. So we can get that back up and running pretty quickly. The problem is, and has always been, that there is a party line here that doesn't want it to happen and is stopping it. Now, if that party line has signed up for leaving and letting us fix this and change over to new earth with our pole flip, with our body's reversal, with the reversal of everything that they've done, again, we don't have anything to worry about here. We are going to be recycling out the old energy, as I talked about in the last video. And maybe if you haven't seen the last two videos, you might want to go back to this, because what I'm saying now might really be jumping quite a few gaps if you haven't seen that. Okay. But there is a canopy team, for lack of a better word. So there is some kind of canopy in place. It looks like it's already been in place for a couple days. I don't believe this is going to cause a blackout. If you think about the technology that we have off of this planet, and some of it that we have on this planet that we're just not being told about, you can put up a force field or forest shield. Okay, it doesn't mean that there has to be a blackout or darkness on the planet. I'm not reading this as that. I'm reading this as a blackout from technology and communication across the board. So there is a team of millions that are working on this, and they've been, I mean, it's been going on for a really long time, but something was put in place on December 14th. As far as protecting us from certain things. Now, could they stop the grid from going down completely? I'm sure they could. But listen, the major problem that we have on this planet right now is media and social media keeping everybody in a certain state of fear 24/7. Now, I realize that people are going to have a hard time without phones and TVs and computers and technology in general. But also, we got to get the bugs out of the system, and the system is going to have to go down, even if it's only a matter of hours. And I'm talking electronic control and manipulation. We're going to have to get the bugs out of the system. So this is necessary. That is why they would not stop us from having a power outage, but would actually probably instead just make sure that we're shielded from any kind of catastrophic happenings. Again, I'm not seeing major earth changes in an upheaval kind of way. I'm not seeing that all. I'm seeing and that's why I talked about in the last video, learning some super basic telepathy with people. Just even if you're just closing your eyes and telling that person, hey, I'm okay, I'm fine, don't worry about me, you know, just so you can kind of check in on each other. We're all telepathic. We all have these abilities. If you haven't worked on it prior to this, doesn't matter. You can figure this out in a matter of hours. Just practice with one of your friends or family. Okay, that's all you really need to do. Just being able to send a message and say, you know, I'm good. We're going to need to let people know we're good. Again, I feel the need to stress that I really am emphatic about never sharing dates. I have never shared dates, but on 12/12, it happened within 48 hours, and that's the reason I'm sharing the date. Again, I'm going out on a limb here, guys, really going out on a limb. But there's a couple things we might need. You know, we can always be in our car to be able to charge our phone. I've said this a couple times, but if you don't know how, if you're in a cold spot in the United States or somewhere on the globe, learn how to make a space heater. It's not going to do your whole house. It'll do 250 square feet, 2 clay pots, and tea light candles. That's going to be pretty important. And I think most of you guys are pretty prepared for some of the stuff that's going to go on. Okay, this is a prime time for all new beginnings to come in. We have to allow and invite these beginnings. I did post that when this power outage, when we have this grid thing, there is something on my wall that kind of gives you instructions. A lot of you are just going to know what to do, but maybe keep that as a reminder when things get kind of weird. You know, when the power goes out, that's really just a massive way of forcing everybody on the planet to go within. We've been asked for a really long time to go within. A lot of us have done that, okay? Or I don't think you'd be here watching this video. But the rest of humanity that's been asked to go in and maybe has chosen not to, or maybe simply not heard the message for whatever blockage reasons they have, it's their turn. It's their chance to go in, okay? If they've said no before, this is kind of, right now, there's no longer an option to opt out of going in. So this is going to be a good thing. The male and female role reversal, magnetic versus electric, it's going to be really helpful, okay? Women have been sitting around receiving, nurturing, loving, chasing, doing all these things for a really long time. Okay, let's let that reverse, and let's take that as a gift that the masculine is going to sit in this space of, oh my gosh. And I don't know, you know, maybe how long, if they don't have the information, it's going to take them to figure it out. This is one of the reasons why I share things, even though when I receive them or I see them, I might think that they're crazy, but when they happen, we kind of need somebody, myself included, to say, you know, everything's going to be all right. This is going to be fine. This is part of the divine plan. We've been working to balance ourselves out. Many of you are massively, massively balanced in your divine feminine, divine masculine energy. So you're not going to experience this kind of maybe in an earth-shattering way like other people may experience the change. I would say more specifically, when I viewed it, it looked like the masculine had a little bit more of a difficult time assimilating to maybe all the clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience that started coming into him. Because two things. One, they're now in the feminine energy, which is receptive, but two, pole shift. And honestly, this time I saw that we shifted before the sun, which to me was very interesting, because when I remote viewed the sun on 12/12, I saw that the sun started it, and then we were the recipients of it, and then we changed. This time I saw it the opposite. Now, that could be just a message to me in the first wave that as the divine feminine, were the electric component. Could just be like a double confirmation of that. But the way I was seeing it is that we are very much internally shifting the auric fields, going inside out. We're going to true north, divine masculine, divine feminine flips until we acclimate it and come completely balanced. And when we do that, the sun's going to go. The sun can read us. And I started seeing in about 2018 that we go through a different place or some kind of an energetic photon belt. And when that starts happening, the sun will put up a picture. Let's say it's a triangle, for example. When you go outside, you receive that code of the triangle. When you have received and acclimated to that particular geometric pattern, you then project it back to the sun. And a group of us do this. The sun receives the fact that we have got the code, we've received it, they change it to a circle. We receive the circle, send it back that we've received it. And the geometry is way more complicated than squares and circles and triangles right now. But just to kind of give you an example of what I mean. So I saw that in 2018. So the sun, not only can I read the sun, okay, you guys, the sun can read me and the sun can read all of you, okay? It's waiting for us to get acclimated to this stuff before it starts to flip. And I think that's all I have for you. I didn't do any jokes or singing this time because I rewatch my videos so that I know that what I can do better and what I have to work on in the future. And some things that I do are really have really been annoying me. So I've tried to eliminate all those things that I don't like out of my videos. So I appreciate you being here. We can do this. I know the majority of you know how to communicate in a way that is going to get you through this. You are going to know what you need to do to get through this. I believe that you are prepared to get through this. And I don't think it's going to be something that lasts a really long time. I'm seeing this as a shorthand thing. Now, I don't know anything about a lot about pole reversals and things like that. But I did have a vision in 2018, and the words that came with that vision were this: the world is really 90% water, and the continents on top of the globe are like, the way they said it to me was like the candy coating on an M&M, or like the candy coating on an Advil. Okay, so we're mostly water with continent on the outside. That means we do have a lot more flexibility and malleability when it comes to things really rocking like that, because we have a lot more water than we've been told. But in this vision, what I was told was that any kind of sudden burst could take that candy shell, right? Because, and I'm saying this because science says, yes, it moves, it's moving, we know it's moving, we know it's picking up. But what I was told was it could move in an instant. That candy shell could rotate like that M&M in your mouth in an instant. Now, I will tell you, 3 years later, when my friend bought me the Ancient Alien series of 1 million videos, I was just in shock and awe when they started talking about someone named Charles Hapgood, and I believe it was 1850, could have been before that, that came up with this theory that almost no one other than, I believe, Einstein wants to give him credit for. But he said the exact same thing my vision said. This is a thin candy coating shell. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. Nobody in the scientific community would ever speak like me. But anyway, he said that there are plates on water, and yes, it does travel slowly, monthly, yearly, cyclically over thousands of years. But yes, it could happen in an hour, and yes, it could happen in an instant. So that was the confirmation that I got, and it was 3 years later. Hi. I had beautiful birds out my window. Okay, I would appreciate if you think there's anyone that needs this information, that you share the information out with them. And I think that's it. That seemed like a lot. I kind of went kind of fast through it. But again, if you think this could be helpful with someone, definitely share it out. I don't know what's going on with Facebooks and their videos and whatever, and I used to just try to tag people or try to send it to people. I don't want to do that anymore, because what's happening to me is I'm getting 350,000 messages in Messenger, and I'm trying to cut back. So anyway, if you guys would like to share it, that would be totally awesome. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Put them in the video. I do correspond with you guys, and most of you guys know that I'm pretty good about corresponding. So thank you so much for being here. I want to know that the light is on our side. We are the light, we are the love, and we internally, as the balanced feminine masculine, are changing this world and this universe. As our divine feminine masculine energy gets pushed out into creation, and we become the creators and co-creators of New Earth, this incredible light helps to balance all the people that are around us that are not sure what is happening and what's going on. And lastly, and mostly importantly, is that you please remember that you were once in this space where you knew nothing. You were once in this space where you believed what academia told you. Okay, we were all in that space at one time. So let's just remember that and be loving and compassionate. And, you know, in a state of emergency, it's really probably not a time to give someone a cosmic download or throw them down the black hole of Alice in Wonderland here. So just be compassionate and be loving and really stay out of the energy of I told you so. Okay, the reason that we knew all of this in advance was so that we could be this beautiful, violet, creative, medicinal energy to everybody else when this happened. Again, as far as dates are concerned, I see this happening between December 22nd and January 1st of 2022. Do I have any idea if I'm right? I don't. But I felt like it's fine to just share what I feel like is coming really, really soon. Okay, I can't get into my ego and think about how people look at me or what they're going to say or think about me or how they're going to react to me. I just have to do it. I really just have to do it. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for doing this with me. We're doing it, guys. It is so happening. So happening. And again, that's why I shared Dr. Michael Sala's information is we don't need to be in fear about this. We do have the technology once those people are removed to fix any kind of grid problem, any kind of electric problem, any kind of power plant problem, anything that could happen that could be a cause for concern to humanity and sentient life on this planet, we can fix. And we can fix it very fast. Okay? In love, in love, in love, in love, pulling that white diamond light down into every cell of my body and using it with all of you to show humanity the way in love and kindness to New Earth. Thank you. Bye.